What's up, tribe? Charles Clark here. Last week, you learned that your character shapes the results that you see in your life. And there are three things that strengthen good character: strong principles, one, rooted in personal values, two. And today, I want to focus on the final trait: your habits. Now, why are habits so important? Because everything that you desire to have in your life, it trickles down to the habits that you practice. Your lifestyle that you have today is the result of your habits. You can't renew your mind without daily intention. You can't get better at a skill without repetition. You can't build discipline without consistency. Essentially, if you say you want the dreams that you desire to accomplish in your life, God is like, show me. Show me you're not out talk. Show me that this is not going to be like last time. Show me through your habits. If you want your mind to believe that your goals are in reach and are possible, well, you got to train your brain to stay consistent with the right habits. You know, I remember this song growing up. I was this young kid, and it said, if you love me, say it. If you trust me, do it. If you want me, show me. If you need me, prove it. Hey, the proof is in the pudding. And the Bible doesn't lie. Faith without works is dead. So not only is it our expectation to believe, but it's our expectation to exhibit those beliefs. There are a couple things that I want to cover in today's conversation that I truly believe will impact your life in a major way. First, I'm going to share with you the science behind why we often fall out of alignment with what we say we want and what we actually do. Then I want to share the habits that you should immediately eliminate in your life. And also I want to share the importance of discipline, why it's important for you to practice it. And in the next episode, I'm going to share with you the 5 ways to create habits that transform your life. But before we do that, I want to put ourselves in the right mindset to receive this information today through a couple of affirmations. Now, if you've ever been to my Thrive experiences, you know that affirmations are what we start with, but they're transformational in the way you think. Words are not just words, but it's a manifestation for how you live your life. I always say, be careful what you say to yourself, but also be intentional. If you struggle with procrastination, or maybe you struggle with sticking with your goals, or maybe you want to elevate this year to your higher self, these affirmations will reinforce the right thinking, will put you in the right frequency to be mentally and emotionally aligned with your goals. So I want you to repeat these affirmations with me. I take consistent and intentional action every day towards my goals. I am disciplined, focused, and committed to my success. I embrace progress and celebrate small wins. I choose habits that align with the best version of myself. I let go of procrastination and take immediate action. I am in control of my time, my energy, and my focus. I prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions. I show up for myself daily, even when I don't want to. I am becoming the person I've always dreamed. Every decision that I make is moving me in my Thrive era. I want you to embrace that. In fact, pause this, repeat it if necessary, but I want you to say these words, believe these words, act on it, and attain it. Let's do the work. I want to ask you a question today. Do your habits align with your long-term goals? If not, I want to share with you the biggest reason why: cognitive dissonance. Science defines cognitive dissonance as a conflict between what we say we want and what we actually do. And this disconnect happens oftentimes because of our failures, because of distractions, influences of people we associate with, being in constant stress. And what happens because of those experiences is we change our behaviors, and then we justify those behaviors so we don't have to change again. But the truth is, those habits would never be a part of who you are if that life experience never happened. So from this point on, I need you not to give into the doubt of your mind, because what truly matters is those desires, is your purpose, is the goals that you have, is the calling that's within you. When cognitive dissonance is present, there can't be alignment with your principles. There can't be alignment with your values. There can't be alignment with your habits. And without alignment, your character weakens. And as you know, if you don't have strong character, you can't produce good results. See, life challenges, they're going to be inevitable. But at the end of the day, it's the hard work that pays off. You know, I remember getting into college my freshman year. I was put on this thing called academic probation. I had passed the ACT by the skin of my teeth, by 1 point. So my advisors told me I had to prove that I deserved to be there. And I was fully adulting because for the first time in my life, I had my own apartment and I had my own bank account. Now, here's the thing. I was thriving as a student athlete, but when it came to my personal life, it told a different story. The part of my scholarship was I received a monthly stipend of about $1,125 to cover rent, cell phone, food, and other expenses. This is when NIL deals didn't exist, all right? And back in the day, Florida State, we were known to be this party school. There was always something to do, always places to eat. And I just found myself swiping my card constantly. I'm swiping $20, $30, $100, $40, $50. And at some point in that month, I knew I ain't got no more money in that bank account. But instead of me logging in to check, I just kept swiping. And at the beginning of each month, I would get my check. My check would drop. I would get the notification in my email. And I would log in. And you know what I saw? I saw all of these overdraft fees. Now, I did not know that your bank can get into negative dollars. But mine did. And I would call up SunTrust and I would tell them, hey, I don't know what all these overdraft fees are, but I didn't do it. And their response would be, Mr. Clark, yes, you did. It happens when you spend more money than you have. OK. and, you know, they told me if I want to get these fees removed, I advise you to go up to your bank personally. So I went up to the bank and I would tell them about my situation and they would kindly remove my overdraft fees. Now, this just didn't happen one time. SunTrust, they knew me by name, y'all. I'm going to just put it that way. Now, my cognitive dissonance when it came to proving that I belonged there was I was being a great student athlete, but I wasn't being a great example in my personal life. What you practice is who you become, and who you become should align completely and totally with the nature of your goals. And you might be asking me, Charles, what in the world does this have to do with being in cognitive dissonance? I didn't take responsibility for my financial habits. And that habit alone is linked to the lack of self-control, is linked to the lack of awareness, the accumulation of debt, low self-esteem. That lifestyle did not align with a championship team. You know, I think many of us, we make the mistake of believing that I can be good here, but this other part of my life, I can mess up. No one has to see that part. I'm okay there. But anytime your character is weak, it shows in every aspect of your life. It shows in your personal life. It shows in your performance. It shows in your relationships. It shows in your confidence. The reality is everything adds up. If you are a great leader on your job, be a great leader at home. If you strive to be an inspiration for others, be an inspiration by your own actions. If fitness is a priority in your morning, wake up at the first alarm. So if you're not seeing the results that you want to see in your life, you got to start asking yourself the right questions. Are my habits in alignment with my goals? Are my actions telling a different story than my words? And the thing is, I want you to know, like, it's not okay. It's no longer okay for you to avoid it. Face it. If this is truly going to be your Thrive era, you need to take accountability in every aspect of your life so that you can change the outcome that you've been getting. So look, I know this is hard work, but I want you to repeat after me. I got this. I will not be weakened by my shortcomings because I am an overcomer. So the next thing I want to share with you today are the top 11 habits you should get rid of in 2025 and the science behind it. Habits that you should immediately eliminate to improve your life today. Number one is procrastination. Research shows that chronic procrastination is linked to increased stress, anxiety, depression, fatigue, leading to feelings of reduced life satisfaction. I always say procrastination is the assassination of your greatest destination. When you procrastinate, you don't get the good stuff in your life. End it. Number two, negative self-talk. Science shows that when we engage in negative self-talk, we create a cycle of negativity, and that reinforces the feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Number three, comparing yourself to others. Social comparison can quickly diminish personal achievement, and that leads to reduced life satisfaction and increases anxiety. The moment you begin to compare, you miss out on your blessing. Stop doing it. Number four, living beyond your means. I learned this one in college. When you overspend, you accumulate debt, and that leads to financial stress. You're not called to be in stress. You're called to be in bliss. You're called to be in blessing. You're called to be in peace. And that is linked. When we're not living in our bliss, when we're not living in our blessing, we're living in the stress. And stress creates anxiety and depression. Habit 5 to get rid of: neglecting your health. Poor health behaviors such as inadequate sleep, lack of exercise, unhealthy eating. That's linked to increased risk of chronic disease and mental health disorders. Another one is overindulging in technology, social media. Everybody want TikTok back now. But ultimately, when we engage in these things, here's what science shows. Overuse of technology, it can lead to reduced face-to-face interactions. And we know, based off of science, when we engage in community, we live longer. And when we don't, when we're losing that face-to-face contact, we're creating feelings of loneliness and depression. Number 7, being chronically late. For my late people out there, here we go. Habitual tardiness is often linked to poor time management and creates missed opportunities. And it increases your stress. When you're always trying to rush to get somewhere, I don't know if you ever get that feeling before. Whenever I'm trying to rush to get somewhere, my nerves are just really bad. Like, it feels like I got to use the bathroom. Okay. I do not like being late. I do not like pushing myself to arrive at a certain time. Get rid of that habit. Get rid of being chronically late. Number 8, blaming others. Research shows that constantly blaming others can hinder growth opportunities, and it is associated with low emotional intelligence. I always say ownership wins championships. The moment you give other people the responsibility of your life and you give them the authority to decide your emotion, you lose control. But the moment you take ownership, you decide what happens next. Stop blaming other people for your life. You are fully in control, especially if this is your Thrive season. Number 9, holding grudges. Holding grudges, research shows that it is linked to increased stress. It increases your blood pressure and negative emotional and mental health outcomes. Number 10, saying yes to everything. Do I got any people that say yes to everything? When you say yes to everything, you say no to you. And when you're in this constant yes mode, you overcommit. And that leads to burnout, increased stress, and decreased productivity. And the last one, dwelling on your past. Focusing obsessively on your past, it impedes on your present. It impedes on the right now. I had to learn this one for myself. The only place I can be is where my feet are. And so get rid of it. There's nothing you can do about your past, nothing you can change about your past. Of course, you can ask for forgiveness. Of course, you can pray about it, but move forward. So those are the 11 habits that I say, this is not the season for it. This is not the season that I go back to certain patterns, certain excuses, certain things that's going to hold me back from me saying this is going to be the best year yet. So as we transition to this next part, I want you to do a visualization exercise with me so that you can step into your higher self. If you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes and take what I call a deep 3. Deep 3 is when you breathe in and you let out for 3 seconds. You breathe in and you let out for 3 seconds. Breathe in and you let out for 3 seconds. So I want you to close your eyes and let's take in the breath together. Deep breath in and let out for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. Let out for 3 seconds. Deep breath in. Let out for 3 seconds. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine the highest version of yourself. The version that you aspire to be. I want you to think about your goals. What goals will you unlock this year? I want you to picture the exact moment of that success. I want you to picture what that finish line looks like. I want you to think about the work ethic. How are you preparing yourself? How do you approach your task? What habits do you have in your life that keep you productive and align with your goals? How are you crushing those habits? I want you to begin to smile as you think about that person you are shaping your life to be. That person that gets the job done. The person that has standards and principles. I want you to think about what that morning routine looks like. Are you waking up early? Are you getting ahead of the day? Are you feeling energized and prepared? Does that morning routine include productivity, prayer, or planning? Now, I want you to think about your evening. What does that evening routine look like? How do you wind down at night? Are you reflecting? Setting intentions? Are you creating calmness for rest and relaxation? What about your mindset? How do you carry yourself? Are you courageous? Are you confident? Are you positive? Inspiring? How do you uplift others and impact others around you? Are you with the right people? People who encourage you, challenge you, hold you accountable. Now, I want you to hold on to this vision, right? Because that vision is not only yours, but it's possible for you. And maybe what I want you to do in this moment is I want you to think about, well, how does my best self differ from the person that I am today? Here's the thing. What I know for sure for everyone who participated in this exercise is that best version of who you are, it did not skip out on discipline. Your best self not only deserves, but it requires a set of actions you consistently practice in the same way at the same time every single day that are influenced by your beliefs and your values. I've learned in life, you are going to have to choose your path and accept the consequences. One of the principles that I live by is Galatians 6:9. It says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I am not a quitter. I believe in getting better every single day of my life. I believe in constantly building my character. But I remember this time where I just couldn't get it right. My friend Mike, he opened up this cold plunge facility in St. Pete. Now, mind you, I'm used to getting in the cold tubs. I'm used to doing this in college. I'm used to doing this as a professional athlete. I hop in, I hop out, I'm good. But this time, you can tell your boy was in retirement because I hopped in that cold tub for 30 seconds and popped right back out. I couldn't withstand the cold. Now, I did this about 10 times trying to get it right, but I just kept hopping in, hopping out, hopping in, hopping out. So Mike finally was like, you know what, Charles, let's try this again next week. And I said, all right, I'll come back next week. And in all honesty, I did not come back. I said, I'm done with this. And I knew that that was not in alignment with my character. I knew that that's not who I am. That's not the person that I want to embody in my life. So you know what I did? I bought my own cold tub. And I committed to doing it every Monday through Friday when I'm at home. Why is this important for me? I'm not saying you need to do this, but I'm saying this is important for me because if perseverance is what I believe, it's also what I practice. If perseverance is what I believe, it's going to be what I practice. Overcoming your fear has its consequences, just as avoiding them does. And remember, consequences aren't just negative. They're simply the results that you get. You know, I've learned that you can endure or you can succumb, but don't expect greatness swimming in the shallow end. Discipline, it requires deep work. You have to say no to temptation, no to skipping the workout, no to hitting the snooze button, no to checking your emails constantly, no to staying up late on the phone, no to staying in unhealthy relationships, no to sex, no to just going with the flow. The path you choose, it matters. The definition of discipline is the choice to apply wisdom daily. And guess where wisdom comes from? Your principles. And how does your principles become your discipline, your habits? But what makes discipline so difficult is that our excuses will always be there. The devil is going to try to tempt you and tell you one more won't hurt. Try again next week. You don't have to do it today. It's going to be okay if you mess up. Almost as if we give ourselves grace as an scapegoat where we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. But if this is going to be the thriving era for your life, your consistency matters. You cannot worship toxic habits and expect big results. So what path will you choose? The discipline route of a dedicated practice of intentional habits that lead to the success of a bigger and more fulfilling goal. When you choose discipline, you choose big goals. You choose your ultimate desires. These desires require intentionality, persistence, and focus. Habits that align with your values and the person you truly want to become. Or the undisciplined route of inconsistent practice, of unintentional actions and habits that derail your progress and lead to unfulfilled goals, stagnation, and setbacks. When you choose the undisciplined route, you settle for the small goals, instant gratification, and quick wins. Remember, both paths, they lead to an outcome, but in the opposite direction. When you choose discipline, your habits drive you towards success, purpose, and fulfillment. And when you choose the undisciplined route, those habits drive you towards mediocrity, regret, and missed opportunities. The choice is yours. So ask yourself, are my habits supporting my goals or am I working against them? Am I choosing the path of discipline or am I letting my comfort and ease dictate my future? Discipline, it isn't just about hard work. It's about aligning your habits with your values and your principles to get predictable results. The thriving thought of the week I want to leave you with today is this. Here's what no one tells you about discipline. There will be moments of hard that makes it easy to give up. Sometimes in our struggle, we feel like it's not worth it. In our darkest times, we convince ourselves that no one cares. In our moments of weakness, we believe that we are unlovable. But when it gets hard, You got to remind yourself just why you started in the first place. If you look deep enough, I'm sure you will find your future looks good on you. But the truth is, it won't happen by luck. It won't happen by favor. And it won't happen by grace. Your future depends on your hard work in the hard. The harvest that you're hoping for, it won't plant itself. It's the results of the seeds that you sow, the habits that you build, the perseverance that you hold on to when life tries to pull you down. But because you're rooted in a firm foundation, you get built up in moments you almost gave up. I'm Charles Clark, and as I always say, make your day as great as you want it to be. But make sure you consider just how precious your life is. You don't have tomorrow. All you got is right now. So don't let the door hit you on the way out. Get up, get happy, get moving, rise and thrive.